All right, we're back. I know you all missed us, both of our viewers that were clamoring for an episode last week. I mean, they were blowing up our comments with not really. One person asked why we should do an episode. All right. Episode 8 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
And to our only listener, Ruth, I'm Rob.
It's true. It was rude. Did you read the comments? All right, guys. So we got some stuff to catch up on. We missed last week. We took a break.
Sorry,
Fred was on
You're
vacation.
You're welcome. You're
We were on
welcome, everyone.
vacation.
Yeah.
We figured you all, both of you could use a vacation, our viewers.
Yeah. That fat camp went really well.
Yeah. Did it? Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right. What do you think, Rob? You got some topics, or you got something's on your mind? What do you
I got some topics. I mean, we've been listening to a lot of the listeners or the listener questions out there. And so we, going to dice it up a little bit with some of our own content. I'd like to do a shout out though to the the boys hockey first and second team winners. We had Division I second team winner goalie Logan Sheffer from Port Huron.
Nice.
And Fred, maybe you can help me with this. Division II honorable mention forward from Romeo, Vincent Rufino. Is he any relation to our Rufino?
Well, it's a possibility. I don't know that for a fact, but that's pretty cool when you get accolades like that.
Yeah. So, what's our guy's name? Rufino, Anthony Rufino.
Anthony, yes.
Yeah. And being so close, Romeo. Maybe some.
Right.
If anybody knows that, maybe can chime in the comments and tell us if he's related. But obviously, a very athletic family, huh?
Yes. Before you get started, I got two shout outs. One, I give a shout out to Michelle Smith. Happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Mish.
Yep, that's pretty awesome.
She's what is she, 58?
Ouch. She's gonna beat your ass, bro.
She's like 44.
She's gonna beat your ass.
She's gonna beat your ass.
I pay good money for that, Mike.
Well, I mean,
well, if that's gonna happen, oh boy. Here we go. We're already starting to go off the
What's
rails.
the other one, Freddie? What else you got?
I believe one of the running backs from Marine City just signed with Lawrence Tech, and I can't remember which one now. I had it in my mind and I can't remember now. But
okay,
speaking from experience, when you get a scholarship offered you and you get to go play a sport in college outside of high school, it is a pretty good feeling, because it kind of gives you a feeling where, like, all the time you spend out in your driveway, in your yard, with your teams, and the extra hours and times, and get rewarded for it. It is a pretty cool feeling.
Nice. Local boy does good. There you go.
That's right.
So we wanted to talk a little NFL draft because, well, that's kind of heating up. We're about 5.5 weeks, Fred, 6 weeks away from the NFL draft.
It's April. I think it's April either 17th or 27th. It's one of the two.
And it's really our only sport that the three of us like all together.
Oh, you guys can talk about other stuff, but
Well, we know we do, but we know this is part of your
wheel. It's in your wheelhouse.
It is. April 28th is a draft. I just Googled it. It's this thing called Google. I don't know if you guys know about it, but
who would you say, Mike, is our biggest Lion fan out here?
Who is the biggest Lion fan?
Yeah, out of the three of us. Yeah, of the three of us.
Well, I don't like any other team, so I'm gonna have to vote for myself. You guys have other teams that you follow and root for. I could care less about any other team except the Detroit Lions. So I'm nominating myself the biggest Detroit Lions fan.
You just poor bastard. Just
man.
So you're the one that should be able to talk more shit than anybody else about the Lions, because
That's
I
true.
don't like it when people are like the Mike Valenti, right? He's not even a Lion fan. He's a Giant fan. He just talks smack about the Lions all the time. I feel it's like, the guy, that's talking smack about your brother or your sister. You can, but nobody else can. I just
Exactly.
don't like it. And
Yeah.
I like the Bucks and the Lions, so I can't even talk as much smack as you, Mike.
Well, I mean, I don't typically talk smack about the Lions, but
No, you usually are. It's more out of frustration, out of anything.
yeah. I
And
mean,
it's like instead of saying WCF on the side, I should say WTF on their jerseys. Like
what the fuck? Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, come on.
Exactly.
The only time I felt compelled I could say stuff in 2019, I had season tickets. So I thought that gave me a right to bitch a little bit, because what the hell, if I'm making an investment like that and
Sure.
I have a gripe with the organization, I should be able to wax
Say your piece.
poetically. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
mean,
So-
I think anybody can question, the Lions organization or really any football team, what they do, but obviously it means a little more coming from people that care about the team than it does, the guys on the ticket who are in the Detroit market and just constantly slam every Detroit athlete that's any good, or any team in Detroit. It's just, I don't know why they're even on the radio in Detroit half the time. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? They're so freaking clueless.
Well, it's funny you say that, because today they were talking, and what it is there's no one in the country, and there's no one that even knows that the Detroit Lions exist. If you listen to what they say, Field, was it Field Yates or whatever his name is? He said, here's the teams that should be involved in the Tyreek Hill trade that happened today, who have two or more first round picks, and the Lions weren't even mentioned, and they have two. It's like, and the thing is Rob and I had talked about this, and I think we have, all three of us have talked about it, just sitting around and chatting about it, is the fact that all these deals are going with like Deshaun Watson and Khalil Mack and Baker Mayfield and Tyreek Hill. Where are the Lions even going to even give the fan base some kind of different feeling other than, oh, we're going to build through the draft?
Well, I think it's a reflection of the organization over the past how many years, right? They're always late to the party. They're late for everything. They're not leaders for sure. They're followers, and they're following way behind. They're totally clueless. They're not interested in, I honestly don't know if they're interested in putting, and this is a strong statement, putting a winning team on the field. I mean, they get a new coach, they go for a coach that's never even been a head coach before. I mean, I'm not, the jury's still out on Campbell, whether he's any good, but
right.
I mean, is that how you go after victory?
Are you saying, Mike,
pick somebody who's never coached before?
They're so far behind a mega trend that most of the Lions front office has flip phones?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And they went and saw a brand new movie called The Godfather the other day. They thought it was really good.
Yeah. So I put together the top 25 free agency moves in the last couple of weeks. Didn't put in, we know the big trades with Devontae Adams and Donald and Tariq Hill, but I went ahead and looked at a couple other ones. So out of the top 25, and this is what the NFL is doing, and this is the way they're trending. Mm-hmm. Out of those 25, 15 of those free agency trades were all defense. 15 out of 25. 3 of them were done by the Jags. So the team that has the number 1 pick and a bunch of picks in the draft, they went out and got 3 free agencies to see where they're going to move in this next season. 7 of those defensive moves were all edge rushers. So edge rushers that they're making waves for other teams. These edge rushers are moving around, and some of the teams with the topper picks or big picks are going to probably go edge rushers. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys still out there waiting teams. I'll read you some of the names. You guys can comment on them. Have you guys ever heard of Stefan Gilmore?
No, I haven't.
Well, he's still out there as a cornerback with the
Yep.
Panthers. So that's another defensive guy. Have anybody out there heard of Akeem Hicks?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
He's a defensive lineman. He's still out there available. How about Javion Clowney?
Oh God, no.
Well,
because right now, Rob, the number 2 pick right now, they could be picking 2.0 of Jadeveon Clowney if they pick Thibodeau.
right.
So
But
please God,
I'm
don't.
just putting you out there. There's some talent out there. 29. He's 29 years old. He's edge rusher.
Yep.
Dwayne Brown is out there as offensive tackle. Rob Gronkowski, obviously not a good fit for the Lions, but he's still unsigned. Oh, how about this guy for a wide receiver? Because they are looking for a wide receiver, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham is still out there unsigned at 29 years old. Does he still have a little bit in the tank, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
No, he's got more than that, but
29 years old. Yeah. I mean,
how about these back-to-back edge rushers, Derek Bennett and Melvin Ingram? Edge rushers, unsigned, 132, 125 years of age. And then the guy that I was trying to remember about the Packers the other day, Fred, I couldn't come up with his name, is Marquez Scantling, who by all sense of everything for the Packers was not a bad receiver outside of Devontae Adams. And are the Lions trying to make any moves to get any of these guys?
Well, I will just tell you, Mike is right about one thing. They do not project or give anyone the feeling that they would rather just be competitive than actually win. And that's the illusion and the way they're presenting themselves to their fan base, to the NFL, because any of these players that you mentioned, there's a couple that I wouldn't take a chance on because of age. But the thing is a Stefan Gilmore would be a great fit. Scanling,
I would think so.
Scanling, maybe take a shot at him. Why not? But the thing is they're sitting here talking about getting involved with the Tyreek Hill trade thing, and what they would have to give up to get him. I mean, what the Dolphins did was they basically sold their soul for Tyreek Hill,
the fastest player in the league.
Yeah, I mean they gave up a first, a second, a fourth, and a sixth this year, and a fourth and a sixth the next year for one player. Okay. Well, mind you, though, that also gives you Waddle and him on the outside for Tua to throw to, and also you have Gesicki, the tight end. But at least put your name out there and at least call and say, hey, I heard that you might be moving this guy. What would you want? What are you looking for?
Guys that they missed out on. Obviously, Von Miller, Chandler Jones, Carlton Davis, Marcus Williams, Allen Robinson.
Why aren't they going after? Why is there any talk of going after
Hassan
Baker
Reddick.
Mayfield? Why aren't they going after Baker?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Why aren't they? They're. You can't tell me they're content with Jagoff. There's no way.
Right.
There's no way.
Well, here's the other thing that's concerning is the fact that a lot of those guys, like you mentioned, Marcus Williams, you mentioned Allen Robinson. Those are two guys that Detroit did bring in and swung and missed. Yeah.
Okay. So there's 2 out of the 25.
So mind you, and they also brought in Arden Key, who was an edge rusher from the 49ers. They also brought another guy in who was from the Rams, who was a linebacker, and they swung and missed on him. And this is where, Brad Holmes is, that's his home. That's his
Came
home
from
away
there.
from home. Yeah. So you mentioned about Baker Mayfield.
Are you talking about Darius Williams?
It might be. I'm not sure, but they
Yeah.
did get. He
went to the Seahawks.
Yeah, they did go. They did get Juju Hughes, who is a corner that played with with the Rams last year, and actually. There's a couple of sports writers out there saying, hey, don't sleep on this. He's actually a safety. I take that back. Don't sleep on this guy because he could be one of those dark horse people that came out, that was available, and you got him for basically nothing. So, there's going to be some of those people like that. But the problem is the Lions have tried to do this year in and year out by trying to get somebody who's, the years of where they got, we got Pat Swilling. Yeah, when he was like 90 and you got him for a bag of balls. They never go out and really try to make a splash
with a real solidified.
Well, let's talk about Baker Mayfield. That would be a splash if they got him.
It would be a splash. I'm concerned. The only thing I'm concerned about Baker Mayfield is the fact that he is a little bit of a gunslinger. He can get
Who
the ball.
Does that sound like?
Well, yeah, Matthew Stafford. But the thing is, he's not very big. But again, if you go out and get Tyreek Hill, you got Tyreek Hill on the outside. You got Josh Reynolds. You got Amar St. Brown. You got Hawkinson. You got DJ Shark. You got probably one of the best offensive lines in the league as of this year when you bring Ragnow back. Okay. And then you got DeAndre Swift and the two running backs that are with him there. That you can pretty much outscore teams at this point and then work
with Jared Goff.
With Jared Goff. But the thing is my biggest thing about Detroit right now is they're thinking about drafting a safety at the number 2 pick. And there's never been a safety drafted number 2 ever.
You hear that, Mike? Mike, the thing that's being reported by
Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. And here's the thing. The highest draft someone was a safety was drafted was 4th. That's the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Okay. And they got more needs than us. I mean, here's my 2 options. This is what the Lions in my eye is the only way that they can go. The number 1 option, of course, is to trade down and get more picks and build depth and focus on your defense. If you're going to draft somebody at number 2, you got to take Jordan Davis from Georgia. It's plain and simple.
There you go, Mike. What do you think? Trade down is the option versus going either number 2, because we already know that Hutchinson is probably going number 1.
You think so? Huh?
Well, they're projected that Jacksonville is 100% going to take him.
Okay. Which is a huge mistake because their biggest problem is they don't have anybody to protect Trevor Lawrence. And they got an offensive lineman sitting there waiting.
And look at what they've done in the free agent market. So there was a high rich target edge rusher free agent market out of 7 of those that I just talked about. They didn't go after any one of them. They went off after an offensive guard from the Redskins. They got him. They got Christian Kirk from the Cards at wide receiver, 2 offensive guys. Then they got the linebacker from the Rams, Darius Williams. So they're telling you pretty much that the edge rusher that they need, they're not going to get it in free agency. They're going to go get it in the draft. Who's the number 1 projected edge rusher in the draft?
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
I think if he's not available, then I would trade down. I would trade my picks, my number 2 pick, and pick up other picks, because I think he's that I don't think Thibodeau's the guy. He
No.
just doesn't seem like the guy.
No.
Even in college, once you got the big head and people were building him up to be something, great. He didn't do that great, honestly, compared
He
to
took plays
Hutchinson.
off.
Yeah. Hutchinson's got the, motor. He's like Winovich, think of Winovich and Rashawn Gary. They played together. Winovich motor was 10 times what Gary's was as far as,
when I look
playing
at
hard.
game film on Thibodeau, and I heard an analyst talk about this, so I was keyed up on it. I wanted to see if it was true. He was less effective with his hand on the ground, Thibodeau. So he's only like a one-trick pony coming around the corner. That's if he can keep his hand off the ground and he's in a set stance position.
He's more of an Isaiah Simmons type player. Okay, where they can move Isaiah Simmons around, where they can move him to a linebacker, they can move him as a like a position that Troy Polamalu, I think it's the hawk position, and or the defensive end, they can move him around. But the thing is, that's not what you want to do with this guy, because he's going to take plays off. He played in a weak Pac-12 league that, only on occasion he showed some promise. But you know what? If he ends up being a star, hey, I'll take a pie in the face. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm the Detroit Lions today, Tyreek Hill is up on the thing. You go, I'll give you our 32nd pick, and I will give you the Rams' first round pick for next year for Tyreek Hill. They would have taken it, then trade down, and then get all those picks and focus in on your defense. Now you got Tyreek Hill, you got DJ Shark, you got Amon St. Brown, you got Josh Reynolds, you got Hawkinson, and those in the backs who catch the ball out of the backfield. That's enough weapons for anybody, including Jared Goff.
Do you think he's the guy, though? I mean, I don't.
For a year, there's not a quarterback in this draft that's worth a shit to pick.
Right. I mean, so go after somebody and go after Baker Mayfield. Why wouldn't you? It's for the Lions. It's kind of a once in a lifetime shot. They want the house for him.
That's the problem.
So what?
Hey, Mike, I agree with you. I want to at least take a shot at Baker Mayfield. Listen.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying don't take a shot at him, but I want to know what the hell they want for him.
I know, but Fred, they're not even doing that. They're not in the conversation. He's going to lean. And he'll want to take Indianapolis, right? Because that's the team out there left. It's probably Seattle, Indianapolis.
Matt Ryan just was traded to
that's right. So that's off the table. So the best team left is probably Seattle. And Seattle is a dumpster fire almost. I mean, they're probably not going to make in the playoffs. He'd be better shot. He'd be wise to come to Detroit, which is on a growth, instead of Seattle on a decline.
Yeah, I don't know if the Detroit's in growth mode either. They haven't proven anything. They won 3 games last year.
It's true. You can make that argument that
they won 3 games, but they should have won 7.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man.
I understand that, but I mean,
had balls, she would be my uncle.
I understand, but we're talking a new coach. You're talking about.
You could have said that Patricia's last year. They were in like 6 or 7 games that they lost.
You're not supposed to mention that man's name in the.
Yeah, I just did.
So listen to this. So are they on a growth pattern? It's hard to tell because they've been 3 wins for the last 2 years, right?
I tell you what, they're not going to be on a growth pattern with Jared Goff at quarterback. And I won't take a pie in the face because I won't need to. The guy is not the guy. He is not the guy.
From Mikey, from M-Dub, right out of the gate, out of the idiot circle.
They will improve next year. They'll get 4 wins next year.
They'll get 4 wins.
Yep.
All right.
What do you say, Fred? How many wins are going to get?
God
forbid Goff gets hurt because they have
nobody
else.
Don't even go. Oh, my God. If Goff gets hurt, they might win 3. If he stays healthy, I think they win 7.
You think they could win 3 wins? Let's say Goff is hurt in the first game of the season. You really think they're backups? They could win 3 games?
No.
No.
At that point, they'll reach out to anybody that is sitting out there waiting. and I heard there's rumors that the Seattle's reached out to Colin Kaepernick. That makes me sick.
Couple teams have.
How about the Lions? How about the Lions, Fred, taking Colin Kaepernick?
Well, they'll give me a reason not to watch him on Sunday.
Oh, you lie like a rug. You'd watch him anyway. You lie like a rug.
All right. So let's change it up. Keep it on Lions theme, though. Change it up a bit.
Okay.
Mike, your best or wildest Detroit Lion tailgate party. Doesn't have to be at the game. Could have been at your house, wherever. Just the most craziest tailgate party that you've ever had.
I haven't really had too many crazy ones. The best one I had was going to Thanksgiving game. Trying to think of who they played. I don't remember who they played. We had a few pops that day. Let's put it that way. But I remember
What do you mean
was
pops?
adult beverages,
Okay.
shots and beers but anyway, I remember Aretha Franklin sang the national anthem and totally butchered it. So whatever game
that doesn't
was,
shock me one bit.
we walked in, but anyway, they won the game on a last second field goal, and they kicked it right in front of us. Literally, we were on like the 35-yard line. That's where they lined up, and they kicked the field goal to win it. That was awesome. We partied at Eastern Market. We went with Donnie Dewey. He had an extra ticket. I went with him and his some of the guys that he knew. They have a RV that they drive down there, so we're drinking in the RV down there. We went to Eastern Market. We're tailgating there, doing all kinds of shots. The people next to us had like this bus, and they had a whole table full of shots with you name it, and we're doing shots with them, and it was awesome. So that would be the
Did they win the game?
They did.
Oh, yep. Well, there you go.
Yep, won the game.
How about you, Freddie?
Lions tailgate. I would not say that I've ever had a wild tailgate for a Lions game, but I will tell you that I had a pretty good one where we went to the Silverdome, and they had a group of people there that I knew from like Marysville and guys that I played softball with, and we went to that game, and they were playing the Rams the year that they won the Rams won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
And
Kurt Warner quarterback.
No, Kurt Warner was a quarterback. Yes.
Yeah.
And
greatest show on turf.
Right. And there we were all tailgating, having a few beers, and there was a guy there who was an excessive bettor. Okay, he was a huge gambler. He brings his own ice shanty, and he practices in his yard that he can put it up in a certain amount of time. And so he would bet people that he could put it up, and he could never do it. So he walks up to me. He goes, "Hey, I bet you I can throw a football farther than you
over these mountains."
Could have won state if coach put me in.
All right. Yeah. So I'm like,
is his name Uncle Rico or?
I have no idea who this guy was. So a guy goes, "Do it, man. You'll win big money." He goes, "Well," I said, "Well, how much you want to bet?" He goes, "Oh, how about $100?" I'm like, "All right." So I fake, like I'm faking hardly. I'm throwing it. It's ducking all over the place, and he's chucking it as hard as he can. So he throws first, and I'm like, "Oh God, this is hilarious." So I look at him, and I spread my legs as far as I can out.
And where's this going?
Yeah, this is one of your most.
I spread my legs out wide, and I go, "Watch this," and I go, "Oh!" And I threw it about another 40 yards past his. He's like, "What was all that?" I'm like, "Just give me the money." Well, the best part about it is we went in and we watched the Lions upset the Rams on a last minute touchdown pass from Scott Mitchell to Johnny Morton.
The year they won the Super Bowl, they beat them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Only the Lions.
Only the Lions. Yeah.
How about you, Rob?
Don't really have many because I don't go to many Lion games. Obviously, when I had the tickets a couple years ago, I think and it's not that it's wild. Kevin Mon and I went down for a game, and we did the old tradition tailgate at Nemo's, and we got a little poo-pooed there, and hit some of the tailgate parties in the back parking lot there, just walking through, drinking
Didn't even
shots
go to
with
the
people.
game, did you?
No, we got on the bus. We
Okay.
got over to the game, and we had a good time. And then on the way back, the line for the bus was like, insane to get back to Nemo's. So Kevin, being the nice guy he is, he's just standing in line, and I'm like, fuck this. So I see the bus come for the bar across the street, and there's nobody at that line yet. So I run over there, and the guy's like, "You parked at?" I don't remember the bar's name. I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And Kevin was about to say no, and I'm that's stop. And we got on the bus and got back over to the bar and walked back to Nemo's. But what I did, the people that were in my row for the seats, and I can't remember, Chris, I think her name was Chris. They were from Canada. They'd come over. They've had season tickets for like 15 years, and they would take us after every game to a different place, like Player One or Jacoby's or the old Shillelagh, and just had a good time after every game, partying with them.
Nice.
What a great experience down there, downtown Detroit, though.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to talk about tailgates anywhere, then I would tell you about some of the tailgates I had at the University of Michigan back when I had my season tickets. But that's another subject for another day.
Another day. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I got, fellas.
What about you, Freddie? You got some topics?
Well, how about the top 3 pet peeves?
Top 3 pet peeves, like anything?
Anything. And I mean, your top 3 pet peeves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know one.
Peeves. Well, you
I
go.
don't like women. I don't like women wearing panties on No Panty Thursdays. That's like, that's a bad. That's one of my number one.
That's
pet
bad
peeves.
luck, isn't it?
That's just bad luck, bad juju.
Yeah, it's bad luck.
Number 2 is definitely a wet towel on the bed.
A wet towel on the bed. Okay.
Yeah, like a made bed, right?
Yeah,
and someone gets out of the shower and throws the wet towel on the bed. Yeah. I can't stand it.
Okay. So you got another one? You had 2.
Oh, I'm supposed to. There are 3. There's 3 pet peeves. When I get on this podcast, we have to wait an hour for Fred to log on.
Yes. Epic.
Those are my 3.
Epic.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if it's my top one. It's up there, but it's my biggest pet peeve is a sink full of dirty dishes. I just can't handle it, man. I just can't handle it. Like I never leave dirty dishes in the sink. I always, when I'm done using it, I wash it. I might leave it on like the drying rack, but it's washed. It's not sitting in the sink.
Right.
And boy, when all my girls were home, holy crap, man. They'll tell you I washed more dishes than a human being should in their lifetime just because of that. And kids are like, they'll use a glass one time. They'll have like 18 glasses of whatever in a day, and they have like 9 different glasses that they use, and they're all in the sink. And yeah, so that's number 1 for me is a sink full of dirty dishes. Can't stand it.
Let me ask you this, Mike. If you get a glass of water, just a glass of water,
yes,
you don't rewash it and then put it back in the cupboard. If it's just a glass of water, don't you just put it back in the cupboard, dry it and put it in the cupboard?
Oh no.
Oh, you wash it.
You put your mouth
you gotta wash it, man.
It's just me and my house.
You live alone, so you can do that.
Yeah. You're the lone wolf.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh boy, number 2. Let's see if I can think of. I guess if I used to have an issue with like getting nails in my tires, so or Tammy would get a nail in her tire, or the girls would, and I would get in their vehicle and I see the indicator a low tire. It never seemed to fail that I get in somebody else's car and they have the low tire indicator. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys can't be driving with a low tire. Go over and put some freaking air in it or figure out what the hell's going on without fail.
That's a woman thing. Like, they hit everything in the road. Like, when you're driving with my ex-wife, I would swerve and say, "Why'd you swerve?" "Well, that big thing was in the road." She would just run right over it. Next thing you know, we had a flat tire.
Yeah.
It's like they hit every damn thing in the road.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing, it's another car thing, is like when you're overdue for an oil change. Like, Tammy never tells me, there's a sticker on your window, for Christ's sake. Just look at the mileage and look at the sticker every once in a while, like once in a fucking blue moon.
Fred's laughing. I know he's had a car he never changed the oil in.
That's not true. That is not true ever. But I will tell you that my dad sees 2 engines for not putting oil in. No, that was funny. That's funny.
So, I mean, these things are avoidable, but it's a dad thing. Those are the things that we check for, right? We make sure we get in the car, everything's like, perfect or whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's just what we do. So it's a pet peeve for us, but most people could really give a shit less about those things. But
right.
I'm a weird guy. What can I say? So
that I can attest to. He is a weird guy.
Yes.
What about you, Freddie?
Number 3.
He's gonna give us 5.
Yeah.
No, I'm only doing 3.
Tied for third.
Tied for 77. For 77.
Right. The third one is when someone texts you and calls you out on something that you did not do. I hate it when somebody says, "I heard that you did this," and you're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I hate it when people don't come to you and ask you,
like, streak through the quad naked
or whatever. The simple fact is I hate that when people just assume what they hear something from somebody instead of just coming to me and asking me. Instead, they just assume, and then they bombard you with texts, bitching at you for no reason that over something. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I hate.
Well, Mike, we're down to 1 listener. No.
Yeah.
So first of all, I hate people who just believe everything you said. It's like if someone walked up to Rob and said, "Hey, did you know men can breastfeed?" Hey, he'd start spreading the rumor. Next thing you know, men can breastfeed.
I have nipples. Could you milk me?
Yeah, right,
Greg, I have nipples. Could you milk me?
So that's kind of thing. It's like, hey, please, hey, if you, I can't stand that. So number 2.
Duly noted.
Oh God, we're only on 2.
Right. Sorry. Number 2 is when somebody commits to do something and then at the last minute they flake out. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Did you like that text before the show?
Did you like my text I said before?
No. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is there's been a lot of times where you make plans with somebody. It's been in the hopper for a while, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, I want to do an audible. Or hey, or
I was talking about you, Rob.
I know. I always say that. I gotta.
He's right on. He's on the podcast here.
Yeah. Because there's things that
you supposed to be about all of us, but it's just supposed to be in general. Like general stuff.
Our pet peeves. He's going through our pet peeves.
This is not Festivus. This isn't the airing of the grievance.
No, I'm just saying that it drives me nuts because I have never ever flaked out on
never.
No,
never ever.
No, the only way that it would happen is if there was a family emergency of some sort. If I commit to something, I go in and I do it.
Okay. Anybody listen to this podcast? I want you to comment if Fred ever flaked out on you and said he was going to do something and he didn't do it ever.
Right.
Ever.
Good.
Okay.
Number 1, with a bullet 100 times when you're at work and there's less than 5 minutes before the place closes and somebody walks in. Fucking drives me fucking batty. today, I'm getting ready to close everything up. There's less than 5 minutes, to go home. And somebody walked in and said, yeah, I'm looking to get some countertops. I'm like, okay, we close at 6. I'm like, I mean, hey, have either of you ever walked in to a place with like 3 minutes left, before they're closing, and going in there and then sitting there for a half an hour, 45 minutes?
No.
Well,
I mean, I've
you,
run in to get something and they've held it open,
Right.
but I know exactly what I'm getting. And
right.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. I walked up to a place. This was a couple years ago, and the sign on the door said closes at 7. And I was there at 5:30. And when I walked in there, they said, we're closing in 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, but on the door, it says, a different time. And that made me mad.
Right. Yeah. How many times, this is a classic too, is I used to laugh at we'd close the store and the doors would be locked. People would pull up and then pull on the doors like we're open, and the lights are off while we're counting money or anything like that. It's like, what part of the lights being off and after the time that it says on the door would give you any kind of motion to move out of your vehicle and go to the front door and actually pull on it? Like magically it was going to open for you because there's somebody in the door, and then they look at you like, I'm like,
yeah.
Really? Oh, it just drives me absolutely nuts. How about a phone call saying, hey, how long are you open till? And you drive all the way from let's say Elginak or something like that, and you drive all the way up to Port Huron, and you
trying
walk
to get
in
the Elginak market.
Trying to get that Elginak market. Yeah. Good.
And
nice.
you walk
Nice
in
play,
with
Fred.
3 minutes left. I mean, it irritates me because I would never do that. I wouldn't, and I know you guys wouldn't either, walk in there and then expect to be helped, for an X amount of time. Sure, you get paid for that extra time, but my Lord, I mean, show some decency. I just want to go home. I've been there all day. I want to go home.
Yeah, he's been watching the clock since noon and counting it down.
And
he got down to the 5 minutes before it's time to leave, and he is like fucking exasperated at that point.
I don't do that at noon.
Okay, 1 o'clock.
12:30.
He's turning off all the lights at like 5. He waits
until after he eats his lunch to get to the countdown.
Right.
All right.
I've walked in there and he's sleeping.
Yeah, well, exactly. I know a lot of people have pet peeves, and I wasn't the ones that I picked weren't like specifically about Rob or anybody. It's just, those are the 3 things I can't stand. Is, someone who believes somebody instead of coming to me and asking me, because I'll be more than willing to tell you if it's the truth or not.
So now he's going to recap his stuff.
We're recapping.
No, I'm not recapping. My God.
Yeah, so
I think one of Fred's
like getting 9.
It's like 9. I think one of Fred's pet peeves is me interrupting him on this podcast.
Well, both of you doing it drives me up the wall, but I'm learning to live with it.
All right, I have a topic for you.
Who says
guys.
You can't grow?
See, look at, he just did it to you.
Yeah, exactly. I have a topic for you guys. So name a band, or it could be multiple, and
nice.
Fred will go on and on. But name a band or a song that you would be okay if you never heard it again. You'd be like, no, I'm good. I never have to hear this band again, or I never have to hear this song again. I'm going to start with you, Rob.
Me?
Yeah.
Anything from Phil Collins and Genesis.
Oh,
I don't know.
Crazy, dude.
No, I'm not. I just can't
Phil Collins is phenomenal. I just saw him in concert. He's phenomenal.
I just can't get into his music, man. I just can't.
I mean, I think that's a good one. I could take him or leave him, to be honest. So
there's a lot of bands Fred? You can take him or leave him. Yeah.
Think of
that's
another
easy.
one, Rob. While Fred,
I got to do another one.
well, think of another. We're just gonna keep going until we've
Anything from
exhausted this.
Aerosmith?
No, I mean
like in
think of
the-
another one while Fred's thinking of his.
Oh, okay.
I already know mine.
What's that?
I already know mine.
Okay, Bruce Springsteen.
That is correct.
Come
Come on, you gotta pick somebody else. You already mentioned how you hate Bruce Springsteen. So you gotta pick somebody else.
The Rolling Stones.
What?
I'm kidding.
Liar.
Yeah.
Liar.
No. Boy. God, there's so many.
Well,
There's
throw one out. Throw one out, and then we'll just keep going around until we beat this
sure.
topic dead.
Okay, cool. Don McLean.
Don McLean. Oh, no more American Pie for you.
Oh
huh?
God, if I hear that, oh God, it just drives me absolutely nuts.
Okay. All right.
Mike,
for me, let's see. Oh boy. The Doors. I don't need to hear the Doors.
What? Oh my gosh.
I don't need to hear the Doors ever again.
Oh my God. The
No.
Doors?
I would
Mike,
be
what the?
I'd be perfectly fine
The
if I never.
Doors?
Yes.
Oh my
Perfectly
God.
fine if I never heard them again.
Need help, man.
All right, go, Rob.
Wow. The Doors.
I just shocked your world, didn't I?
You shocked my world, man.
Yeah.
What Sister Christian? If I could never hear
Oh,
that
God.
song again, I'd be happy.
Yeah. That's one of Fred's top 10s, though, probably.
No, I think it's a good song, but I mean, God, they just
Not a good song.
Yeah, it is.
It's horrible.
It's a good song.
All right, how about you, Fred?
So we did a band. I'll do a song. Boy, this is tough because there's so many songs that I would pick, but
Macarena.
well, everybody, that doesn't even count. It's not even, to me, that's not even music.
You were all drunk at a bar one time dancing to it. I know you were.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Here we go. Old time rock and roll, Bob Seger. Can't stand it.
Okay.
And matter of fact, at my wedding, I told the DJ, if anybody requests a song and you play it, I'm not paying you. That's how much I hated that song. And of course, Rob.
That's aggressive.
Well, yeah,
That's impressive.
That's how much I hate it, though. But Rob, this was prior to me actually finding a new appreciation for Bob Seger. But that song will never. I can't stand it.
I do like the guitar solo in that song. It's a good guitar solo. But yeah, I don't need to hear that song either.
I know your next one, Mike. DSB. DSB.
DSB.
Don't stop.
Oh yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. I mean, I hate that song.
Yeah, it's like me doing saying Bruce Springsteen. So go ahead, Mike.
So this might shock you guys too. I don't know. Pink Floyd. Never have to hear them again.
I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't need to hear Pink Floyd anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah. I could get on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Poison.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on board with that.
Yep.
Especially Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Oh my God.
Their ballad.
Christ.
Yeah.
I liked them back in the day, but I just no Poison.
Yeah.
All right. The Who.
Really?
I don't know about that
The
one,
Who?
man. Like me.
I mean,
Who.
there's
Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah. Great song.
I just can't. Okay, if I had my choice between Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and The Who, they would be my third choice.
Okay. Who would be your second choice?
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Wow.
Not
Not
you,
that you
Rob,
don't like them,
right?
just they play them out because they are
Well,
played out too much.
well, first of all, I just, I think it all started when Eminem's Front came out. Oh my God, that song is like just it's like a
What did people change the lyrics to instead of eminence from?
Well, I
Did
don't
anybody
remember.
oh no, I'm not, I can't even say it on camera.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, nobody's listening.
Well, the second word front was actually see you next Tuesday. So
Oh, okay,
you know,
gotcha. Yeah, okay. No wonder why. Hey, well, good. Hey, kudos to you for not saying it.
Yeah.
Because if we do have 3 viewers, I know two of them at least are women.
They go. They go.
They go.
They go.
What if we do like in how WCSX is doing the March Madness for the bands? They do that every year. They pit bands against each other and you vote for them or whatever. So I'm gonna throw out some bands to you guys and you pick which one you like better.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter who goes first, but Beatles.
Robbie, you can go first.
Okay, Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Fred?
Rolling Stones.
Okay. Led Zeppelin or AC/DC?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Which
Who's going first?
Which AC/DC?
And any of them, either of them, with Brian Johnson or with Axl Rose if you prefer, or
Right.
that's your favorite version, right?
Bon Scott, Brian Johnson, or Axl.
I'll say AC/DC.
I will too.
Wow,
I love
surprising.
AC/DC.
I love Bon Scott.
Okay.
So I mean,
All right, let's say
with the high school head.
I know Fred's answer on this one, but I'm interested in Rob's answer.
Oh,
Megadeth or Metallica?
well, I'm more Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, or you know what? I know people got off of Metallica when they got to the Bob Rock stuff. Like they felt like they sold out a little bit, but Metallica for me.
Freddie?
overall work, as far as albums are concerned, and
let's put it this way. You could either have all of the Metallica albums or all of the Megadeth albums. You can't mix them. So you can only have one band.
Right.
Which one?
Megadeth.
Okay. I knew
you never had Master of Puppets.
Okay. You'll never have Symphony of Destruction. You'll never have Rust in Peace.
Okay.
Nice.
What about you, Mike?
Between Megadeth and Metallica?
Yeah.
Megadeth. Yeah,
Megadeth.
Metallica, as far as I'm concerned, anything after Master of Puppets sucked. So I was done.
A lot of people feel they sold out.
Yeah, I was done with them.
Well,
Master Puppets.
All you have to do is watch your documentary, Some Kind of Monster, and you realize what a bunch of douchebag, egotistical assholes Lars and James are, and poor Jason Newsted. The way they fucking treated him was just horrible. And I felt bad for the guitar player too, because he's pretty goddamn talented, and they just never let him really, they still haven't really given him. He's like,
Kirk Hammett.
Yeah, Kurt, thank you. And of course anybody that comes in and plays bass will never be, the original. So
yeah, but the new guy from Suicidal Tendencies, they gave him, like, they split everything evenly with them.
Yeah,
four ways.
Yeah,
I love
Trullo.
Suicidal Tendencies. Yeah, I love Suicidal Tendencies.
Okay,
go ahead. We're waiting, Mike.
Oh, you want another one?
Sure, lay it on us.
Let's see. Okay, Motley Crue or Dokken?
Me? Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Motley Crue.
Freddie. I picked this one on purpose because I knew he was going to do this. You can see the steam rising from his
Well,
ears. He's thinking about this one.
That's so hard.
Okay. Well,
It's
think about it.
well,
You got to make your choice. It's live or die. Ride or die. Who's your ride or die? Motley Crue or Dokken?
Motley Crue.
I'm shocked. I'm seriously shocked. I thought for sure he's
I
going to
mean,
say Dokken.
I would
Well,
say,
we just lost a viewer because Pete's not going to watch us anymore because
right.
neither.
I will tell you that I think Dawkins had some better albums than Motley Crue, but Motley Crue, as far as a group is concerned, even though Vince Neil can't sing worth a shit anymore. Don Dawkins worse. So.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's like you give him a head tilt, feeling sorry for him. It's so pathetic.
All right, Rat or Twisted Sister?
Oh God! We're right at the bottom of the barrel.
Rat.
Really? What do you say, Rob?
Jeez, I don't know. I really don't like Rat.
Wow. Their first two albums were so good.
Can we make it Rat and Scorpions?
Okay, Rat or the Scorpions?
Scorpions.
Well, good, because let's go back to the subject before that. I could not have to worry about listening to ever again. Scorpions would be on my list.
Wow.
I love Scorpions.
Oh God, they're pathetic.
So my choice would have been Twisted Sister over Rat, just for the record.
I probably would have taken Twisted Sister over Rat.
Yeah. And we know it would have been Motley Crue. I mean, that would have been my choice. That's
obvious, right? For sure.
All right, so
guys, I got one more and I got to end it.
No, I was going to say you got to go, right? Because you get Yep. So that's it for me then. I think it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one question that was our secret Santa, the secret thing that we love, but it's hard for letting
the guilty pleasure.
Yeah, the guilty pleasure.
We got time for that? We got like 5 minutes, Rob.
Guilty let's make that a teaser for next show.
Okay.
Because I don't even know. I don't even know what my guilty pleasure is. I got so many of them. I got to narrow it down to one.
We're not talking about pleasuring yourself.
I understand.
Because I know you're doing
I just got a lot. I got a lot of guilty pleasures.
All right. One, because I know you're doing the 5-finger knuckle shuffle right now.
And from what I understand, it's up by the apartments there by uptown by the water. Apparently that's your target area,
Right. So hey, folks, real quick, hey, please give us some suggestions for some topics. Feel free to ask us anything. We would love to do it.
You see what happens when we're on our own to come up with our own shit.
Right. But the good thing is we've had some pretty good, we've had really good support. We appreciate the views. We're not going to get a ton, but it's we've actually been surprised by how many people have actually watched it. So we really appreciate, but we'll do a new episode. The one thing, our next episode is going to be a little bit bittersweet because my cousin Rob is going to be moving to Florida, and it's
the number one idiot.
Yeah. It hurts me. It hurts me deeply, but I totally understand.
Number 10 in your program, but number one in your hearts.
I'll be doing the show from the tropics from now on. Yeah, that's.
Nice. Are you going to wear a Jackie Moon shirt? It's going to say Flint Tropics.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yep. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.